Good news viewers, my favourite bike of the last few years, the Fairlight Cycles Secan, has been updated. It's now up to version 3 after first launching in 2018, and I've owned mine since 2019 I think, so it might be time for me to finally upgrade. There's also a new Van Rysel aero road bike doing the rounds as well. Your chance to buy an old team race bike, and the main topic for this video today, on which I want your feedback, is whether should you buy a new bike at full price, or is now actually a really good time to buy a bike with some massive discounts around if you shop around. And are new bikes as expensive compared to the pre-pandemic prices as many people make them out to be, based on your comments on my bike reviews. So loads to talk about, loads to dive in and discuss. But before we do, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Their support for the past 12 months enables me to make videos like this on a regular basis. And building a website with Squarespace is so easy, it's so quick. You wonder why you've not built a website with Squarespace until now. You can use AI to do the hard work for you. Simply answer a few questions and your website is built bespoke for your needs. Or start with a template, and there are some amazing templates to choose. Then customize that template, add some plugins for online shopping, booking courses, running a newsletter, put your videos on there, your photos. So whether you're a bike shop, a bike nerd, whatever you want to do online, there's a website solution on Squarespace for you. And you find out right now, we're a free trial, link down below. And if you enjoy it, want to continue that journey with Squarespace, there's 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website with my special code on screen right now. Okay, let's dive in to the main topic for today's video, bike prices. So let's talk bike pricing, and reading the comments on my bike reviews, it's clear bike pricing has really hit a nerve, and I get it, I feel the same pain too of higher prices. But how much have bike prices actually gone up? Let's have a closer look. So I started the channel in 2020 by reviewing a 21 model year Giant TCR Advanced Pro with an 11-speed Shimano Ultegra mechanical group set and hydraulic disc brakes and carbon wheels, and it retailed for £3,600. And that price, adjusted for inflation in today's money, would cost £4,500. And looking at the Giant website today, you can buy the cheapest TCR Advanced Pro, so roughly equivalent to that bike. Well, that bike doesn't really exist because Ultegra 11-speed doesn't exist anymore, with the newest Shimano 105 12-speed group set with hydraulic disc brakes and mechanical gears with the same wheels for a price of £4,000. Yes, Ultegra is a better label than 105, but this group set is essentially the same as Ultegra. It has the newest 12-speed technology, the newest gear ratios, the improved hydraulic disc brakes, the same great ergonomics and reliability as the Ultegra group set. And if it had Ultegra on there instead of 105, nobody would know the difference. Some parts are heavier than Ultegra level components, mainly the cassette and the chain set, but the rest of it, functionally, in terms of performance, is pretty much on a par. That blindfolded, you wouldn't tell the difference. But if you think you're still being ripped off by bike brands, then bike shops will definitely quote you happy with some astonishing discounts out there right now. So how about this? A Giant Propel with an Ultegra Di2 group set with a £1,200 discount, 1,200 quid off a brand new bike. That sounds pretty good. Or a Specialized Roubaix SL8 Comp with an £1,100 discount. That's pretty nice, thank you Specialized. Meanwhile, this aluminium framed BMC T machine is over half price, a £2,000 saving, and that's really good. That definitely makes road cycling accessible. Then there's a Trek Domani SL6 if you want a comfort mile munching bike. It has a £1,200 discount. So again, a big discount on a brand new bike. And these are prices in the UK. I'm not really sure how the market will compare in Europe and America. So let me know if you've seen any amazing bargains by dropping a comment down below. So the brand new Fairlight Cycles Secan 3. First launched in 2018, is now up to version 3, and might be time for me to upgrade my trusty version 1, although I'm rather fond of it, especially now I've re-sprayed it. But the new bike has some useful changes and updates. and it's still a Reynolds 853 main tube frame set with a carbon fork and designed for gravel and adventure riding. I've used mine for bike packing, road riding, commuting. It does everything really well with lots of versatility baked into it and wide tire clearance. Now, one of my favourite details on the Secan are the dropouts and the brake mounts made by Bentley Components or in collaboration with Bentley. And these have been updated. As before on the Secan 2.5, the dropouts are UDH compatible for SRAM's newest group set, but they've been refined and they look really clean and tidy. And they now have removable cable stops, so the dropouts look great with whatever group set you choose. Electronic, wireless, mechanical, really clean. And that approach means you have a bike that looks purpose-built for the groups that you have on it, and no redundant cable stops or cable holes as you often get on bikes made from one mould for all group sets on the market. And the whole back end of the frame is new as well, with tube forming and shaping similar to what we first saw on a Strail road bike. All lovely curves designed to get more tyre clearance and hill clearance and a bit more compliance as well. Flattened along the chainstays to allow a bit more deflection in that part of the frame. And boosting comfort and capability, its tyre clearance has been increased up to 700 by 53 and 650 by 62. Is that enough, or will 55 be better? I reckon it's probably spot on, with 45 to 50 being a sweet spot for gravel and adventure riding, and it's enough for a 2-inch mountain bike tyre to fit too. There's also a brand new Semper carbon fork with an improved layup, claimed to give a 20% boost in compliance for more comfort. And there's also an aluminium load-bearing insert bonded into a fork crown, so it's now Rando rack compatible as well. The frame and fork now take a bigger 180 rotor as well. A few gravel bikes like the Velo V+1 and the Merida Cycles do take bigger rotors. So a nice option to have for heavier riders, or you're doing some serious bike packing, or you are descending mountains where you are dragging the brakes and really heating up the brakes a lot, and the bigger rotors can reduce brake fade in those situations. Other small changes include 3D printed cable guides for the various group sets, mechanical, electronic, and wireless, that the frame is compatible with. Now, I always like the company's approach to geometry, sizing and fit, with 2 stack options for each size, R and T, something more bike companies and brands should definitely do. So I ride a 56R in case you're wondering, and the geometry has been modified a bit to account for the extra tyre clearance. So the chainstays are 2mm longer, so almost nothing in it, and the head angle is a bit slacker as well, but the stack and reach remain the same. The new frame is available in 4 colours, with pearlescent blue, wow that looks amazing, and burnt orange during desert and moss with new top tube decals as well. The new frame is available now, and the frame set costs £1,500, and full build starts from just over £2,600, and as always, loads of upgrade options are available. I'll put a link to their website down below, definitely worth looking. All the design notes from Dom Thomas are on there if you want to really find out all the details, all the thinking behind the bike is all there, full transparency. And I will be doing a video with Dom and hopefully riding the new bike in the new year, so definitely reason to hit that subscribe button down below. So, after first being seen at the Tour de France in proto form, Van Rysel's brand new aero race bike, the RCR-F, F for fast, has been unveiled, sort of. Oddly, it hasn't been launched as yet, as such, but first shown at a team's get together, the first sort of gathering of the team riders in Lille on Monday. And on Monday, I and other bike journalists were down in Benidorm in southern Spain for the launch of Carnago's radical, shocking new aero bike. And it seems only Bike Radar were there in attendance and have some details on the bike. It seems they're holding back the bike and the official launch for some time next year in the spring. But there are some details they have shared in terms of aero and stiffness, but nothing on pricing or availability. So according to Bike Radar, it claimed to be 13 watts better than the regular RCR-R, and as with its first road bike, the development has been helped by Swisside, and it's also claimed to be 7% stiffer as well than the regular RCR has been out for the last 18 months, 2 years. And visually the new bike looks very similar to the current RCR, almost the same in fact, only all the tubes are deeper. The head tube, the down tube, seat tube, and it gives me strong Specialized Venge vibes for sure. And nowhere near as radical, shocking as a Cervelo S5, BMC Team Machine R, or of course the Carnago Y1 RS. It also has generous 33mm tire clearance, which is pretty cool, and the geometry is the same as a regular RCR, and that's important for the pros. They swap between one bike and the other and have no adjustments to their fit needed. So will it be aero and fast enough for the team and compete with rivals in this space? Remains to be seen, but yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised they launched a pure dedicated aero bike. The regular RCR was pretty fast and good aero and a good lightweight aero all-rounder. And it's interesting that while some companies like Specialized and Trek think that one bike is enough for all racing, both aero and lightweight, even Carnago, which hasn't had an aero bike for many years and clearly focused on the V platform being aero and lightweight, has now produced an aero bike to close the gap, the aero gap, to the fastest bikes in the world right now. Well, the fastest bikes in the world tour at least. And aero bikes make sense for the peloton because racing these days is getting extremely quick, faster all the time. Average speeds in excess of 45 up to 50 kph are pretty normal. In fact, the racing is so fast that UCI wants to try and put the brakes on tech development and slow the riders and peloton down. My goodness me. How they do this and what impact it has remains to be seen. They have already strict rules on bike weight, 6.8 kilos, and the shape of a bike. And they also have form on just outright banning bikes and positions. Back in the 90s, the Lotus 108 were banned. The positions that Aubry, Borman developed, the Superman, all those tuck positions were banned. And they banned the puppy paw position in more recent years. And it seemed they're trying to limit how much the riders and the bike brands are really pushing, and they have been pushing extremely hard in the last few years with aero tech development. So will they be successful? And what can they do? There's talk of shallower rims, so an impact on how deep a rim can be, wider handlebars maybe, not as aero and narrow as before, and maybe smaller gearing, smaller chain rings, because we see 54, 56 being common these days. So it remains to be seen what the UCI actually does and what impact it actually has on racing speeds, and whether they can slow bikes down, and whether it's all a good thing, whether they should be involved. I don't know. I'm not decided yet. So let me know your thoughts by dropping a comment down below. And lastly, talking of the pros, if you desperately want to own a bike once ridden by a professional cyclist, well, now is your chance. A bunch of bikes from Visma, Ineos, Soudal, DSM and EF are up for sale on an auction website. I'll put a link to it down below. Personally though, I'd never buy an old team bike. I see how the riders treat them and how the mechanics wash them. But that said, I've ridden a few pro bikes over the years and they've always impressed with just being brand new and really tight and stiff. And they are maintained to a fairly high level, but yeah, I'm not sure I would take a punt on myself. But if you do, the bikes are pretty cheap, like Jan Hertz Tarmac SL8 is going right now with 2 days remaining for just over £5,000, which for a 12k bike brand new is pretty good. And it's a pro bike, of course. You get all the accolades at the cafe with a pro bike, but do you need the legs and the performance to really justify having a pro race bike? I'll let you decide on that one in the comment section below. But that's all for today. That's my weekly roundup of the most interesting tech news. Stay tuned for more next week. Hit that subscribe button down below, and if you want to see my review on the Carnago Y1 RS, well, first look anyway, that's linked right there. But I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much for watching.